Hi, my name's Kat and welcome back to my channel. If it's your first time here, please consider subscribing. I make videos about everything in my life, from running a conference called Blogtacular to being a mama to 3 children. There's loads of vlogs, chats and lots of colour. In today's video, I'm going to talk to you about why we quit Christmas and what we do instead. So for the last 10 years, we have not been celebrating Christmas in the way that the majority of the country do, and there are a few reasons for this. First and foremost is that when we had children, we started getting touch and feel baby Jesus style books from the relatives, and when we asked them not to give the children that kind of book, they said, well, you celebrate Christmas, so you must be raising them Christian. And that was a light switch moment for us, because we realised that yes, we had celebrated Christmas our whole lives because that's what our friends and family and community did, but actually we did not believe in a Christian God, we did not believe in any God. We're firmly atheists or humanists, and if it was going to cause some kind of hypocrisy problem within the family with us celebrating Christmas, then we were happy to let it go. Now, that's not to say that we don't want to celebrate in midwinter. I feel there is like a bone deep need to light up the darker days, celebrate the passage of time, celebrate the renewal of the year, and show your appreciation for the people in your life. So we wanted to keep that element of the Christmas celebrations and just lose the religion. So what do we do instead? We actually call our celebrations Solstice because we start it around the winter solstice. It's loosely based on some of the Yule traditions or the midwinter traditions from Northern Europe, and we've plucked out elements of other celebrations that we really enjoy and have brought them into our solstice celebrations. It all starts on solstice, and I should be saying happy solstice to you because today is solstice in the UK as I record this. The night before solstice, the children hang out their stockings. Now, when we left Christmas behind, one of the elements that I was really sad about saying goodbye to was hanging out stockings for Santa, because it's part of the magic that I really loved as a child. And I thought that there was no way to bring St. Nicholas with us. He's a Christian saint. It seemed impossible, but we wrote to Father Christmas and asked him what he thought, and he told us about the Solstice Fairy. Now, the Solstice Fairy is in a similar role to Father Christmas. They're friends, they know each other. They are both about spreading goodness and joy in the world. The Solstice Fairy asks you to leave for her things that you loved, that are in good condition, but are no longer things that you play with or look at or read anymore, that another child would like to have. And in return, she fills your stockings with some new treats for you to enjoy on solstice morning. So the night before solstice, we hang out the stockings, we leave by the fireplace a selection of things that the children have decided they no longer need in their lives, so a little bit of a declutter and an offering, because those toys are going to go to other children and hopefully end up in other children's stockings. Now somehow, and I really don't know how it works, but in the middle of the night, the Solstice Fairy fills the stockings with treats and gifts, and when you wake up on solstice morning, there's this whole host of things to open. It's a very exciting time. Solstice isn't necessarily about having like one big blowout day. So although we have the stockings on solstice, often we have to go to work as well because it's a working day here in the UK. So we might have a feast in the evening, or if like today it's the last day of term, we're going to the school disco, so we're just going to have a fun day. If we have the day off, we tend to do something as a family. So last year we went ice skating, which was adorable. And if it works out, we will try and have a special meal all together. But it's not like the big pressure of that one day. So solstice is the start of our celebrations, and we stretch them out for 10 days until New Year. Well, I say 10 days, but because solstice is an astronomical event, it happens on a different day every year. So it's normally on the 21st of December, but it could be on the 20th or the 22nd. And I think in some cases, even as late as the 23rd. So from solstice to New Year, every night after dark, we light a candle, and we call this candle time. So we switch out all the lights and we create this kind of sort of like little circle of focus within that candle light. And we use that as a time to talk about things that we're grateful for, things that we really love about each other. So some nights we might do a love bomb, and one person might light the candle and everybody else tells them what it is that they appreciate about them or why they think they're special. That works really well if you've got somebody visiting, because it gives you the opportunity to show your appreciation for them and have them join in candle time and experience that kind of love that you might not show at any other time of year. Other nights we'll discuss things like what our goals for the new year are, what we want to leave behind in the old year, what we're really proud of achieving this year. So we pick a different topic for each night and spend that candle time focusing on gratitude and relationships and excitement about what we've done and all of the things that I think are really special about family time. So we have that for 10 whole nights, and then after we've blown out the candle, the children get to open one present. So something I really hated about Christmas, and I even felt uncomfortable with this as a child, is you just have this huge mountain of stuff and you sort of go through it all and you're so overwhelmed that you don't really get a chance to appreciate in each individual thing. And you know, often people are buying things that maybe aren't meant to last and are going to be thrown away. So we've tried really hard to pare back what we buy for the children and also to encourage our relatives to do the same. So I tend to use the something you want, something you need, something to wear, something to read mantra when I'm picking gifts for the children. And then we try and ask our relatives to maybe just pick one gift, or instead of a gift, to think about an experience or a day trip or a promise that they can make to the children of time spent. I would really love everyone to just commit to spending more time with them, talking to them about family stories, sort of really enjoying them. But I get that everybody's lives are busy and people really like to buy presents for children. So inevitably, the 10 nights, there tends to be one present each for the children. Mr. Cat and I are not quite as lucky, but over those 10 nights they tend to get one present each, and it means that they have 24 hours with that one gift, that one new thing. So be it something to play with or something to read or something to put on, they don't have that overwhelm of lots of gifts in front of them, but they're able to sort of really appreciate that one thing that they got. Now, when it comes to decorating, I am all for bringing nature in, adding some colour to the space and lots of lights. I think this aspect of the festival is really exciting because you are going through the darkest days, and it's that time of, if I imagine the old year ends on Solstice and the new year begins on New Year's Day, you've got that lovely space in between years where you don't have to work and you can spend time with family, and lighting that up and giving it sort of an elevated status is something I really enjoy. So we do have a tree, we do have decorations, we have lots of lights, because I don't think that they necessarily tie to the Christian faith. I think those are things that have been borrowed from the rituals that existed before Christianity came to this part of the world. And we do love our feasting, and so yes, any excuse to have an indulgent meal, something that you might not get at other times of the year, we do take that, because I think that when you've got those few days when you're all really sort of spending time together and focusing in on things and talking about what you love about your life, what you want to do with your life in the future, what you love about each other, I think that food comes hand in hand with that kind of celebration. So something a lot of you have asked me about when I've shared this online, or when I've asked you what you would want to know in this kind of video, is how do people react to this? And I would say things are mixed. So some people just completely ignore that we don't celebrate Christmas and they treat it as Christmas, and they send us Christmas cards, and that's what they do. And do you know what? That's fine. It doesn't really bother us. Other people feel like they can't be any part of it because we're doing something so different from them, which is a shame because I do think that there's space for everyone's celebrations. You know, I have quite a multi-religious family now, so I kind of take the Roman view that, you know, the more celebrations you have, the better. So when we explain it to people who aren't necessarily in our close family, children are really curious about it because they love to find out about new things and to find out how it's different, why we decided to do it, what we do instead. And it's really nice talking to them about it, because often adults can be a little more funny because they're very set in their ways, and that even though they probably aren't a Christian themselves, they're celebrating Christmas because that's what we do. And I get it, because right up until the point somebody challenged my ideals, I was all set for continuing to celebrate Christmas even though I'm an atheist. And so I'd say we haven't really come up against anyone whose reaction has been 100% negative. People are sometimes confused, but in general, I think people are quite accepting of our eccentric ways. So we've been doing this for 10 years, and throughout that time, it's been completely normal for the children, because I'm pretty sure Miller doesn't remember celebrating Christmas at 6 months old. So we've always celebrated something different with them. And their preschool were always really, really good about getting information from us and working that into their programme. The school are not quite as good because obviously they're a Church of England school. Although this year Betsy has sort of waged a really good campaign about bringing Solstice in because it's the last day of term today, and she was a bit annoyed that she had to go to school on Solstice. So her class and Monty's class are both doing candle time today. So the children will be sitting in a circle and telling the child sitting to their right what they appreciate and love about them. And I think that's a really nice way to bring a little bit of something different into a very traditional setting. I don't think that anything we are doing is particularly anti-religion. I think it's just about creating meaning for ourselves at this time of year in a way that doesn't impact on our integrity and our values as a family. And being able to take that into school and seeing that spread to friends around the world and to see family who are interested in it is just the best reward, because at the end of the day, Solstice for us is about appreciating what you have, appreciating who you have in your life, and spreading that love a little bit further. So if you have any questions about Solstice, about anything that we do, about how to set this up for yourself, leave them in the comment box below. If I have enough, I will do another video in the next couple of days to answer some of them. I hope you've enjoyed this, and if you are looking for an alternative way to celebrate in